Healing the World. Through travel, my journey to 5 regenerative destinations. In 2025, have you ever stood in a place so beautiful it hurt? A place where the weight of its fragility pressed against your heart? I felt that in Venice last year, shoulder to shoulder with thousands, watching gondolas bob in murky water, wondering if my presence was part of the problem. But then I discovered a different way to travel, one that doesn't just take, but gives back. This is the story of my journey to 5 corners of the world where tourism isn't a threat. It's a healer, Costa Rica, where rainforests grow back. My first stop was Costa Rica, a country that's been green longer than it's been cool. But in 2025, they're taking it further. Here, your morning coffee isn't just a drink, it's a promise. At Finca Rosa Blanca, they plant a tree for every guest, and the Maluku indigenous community teaches visitors how cocoa farming can rebuild entire ecosystems. I spent days hiking trails where jaguars roam freely, funded by park fees that protect them. And at night, falling asleep to the symphony of the Osa Peninsula, knowing my stay was powering reforestation. Scotland, rewilding the Highlands. Scotland taught me that regeneration isn't just about nature. It's about reclaiming stories. Yes, Nessie's here. But so are golden eagles returning to skies once silent. I joined a rewilding team in the Cairngorms, pulling invasive species and planting native Scots pine. Later, at the Macri Hotel, I ate lamb from sheep that grazed mindfully to revive the soil. And in Edinburgh, I skipped the crowded Royal Mile for a village called Dunkeld, where every souvenir sold funds the revival of forgotten Gaelic traditions. Bhutan, the kingdom that measures happiness. Bhutan doesn't just talk about sustainability, it's written into their constitution. My $200 per day tourism fee, it paid for the free health care of the family I stayed with in Punakha. I trekked the Trans-Bhutan Trail, a 250-mile ancient path restored in 2024, and slept in farmhouses where dinner was grown steps away. But the real magic, learning that regeneration here isn't a trend. It's a 1,000-year-old Buddhist philosophy. Every prayer flag I hung was biodegradable. Every meal was a silent vow to waste nothing. Palau, where the ocean heals. Itself. Palau taught me that paradise has rules. To enter, I signed an eco-pledge in my passport, promising to protect every grain of sand and drop of water. I dove with sharks, not as a tourist, but as a student, helping marine biologists replant coral nurseries. At night, I stayed in solar-powered bungalows, eating fish caught the way their ancestors did. One line, one fish. And that sunscreen I brought? Confiscated at the airport. Because here, protecting the reef isn't optional. It's survival. The Azores, Europe's secret sustainable Eden. The Azores felt like a glimpse into 2030. These Portuguese islands run on geothermal energy, volcanic soil, and pure ingenuity. I soaked in hot springs heated by the Earth's core, ate steak from cows that grazed on regenerated pastures, and sailed with biologists tracking sperm whales. But what stayed with me? The pride in every local's voice. Because here, tourism isn't a transaction, it's a partnership. New Zealand, guardians of the land and sea. New Zealand isn't just a postcard, it's a living classroom. Here, the Maori people have practiced kaitiakitanga, guardianship, for centuries. I stayed at the Te Puea Lodge in Rotorua, where geothermal energy heats the pools, and every meal tells a story of ancestral connection to the land. One morning, I joined a Maori elder, Tama, to forage for kawakawa leaves. As we brewed tea, he said, Tourists take photos. Guardians take responsibility. That night, I slept under a sky ablaze with stars in the Aoraki Dark Sky Reserve. Knowing my visit funded predator-free sanctuaries for the endangered kiwi bird, Rwanda, where tourism rebuilds a nation. Rwanda taught me that regeneration isn't just ecological, it's human. 30 years after the genocide, this country has rewoven itself through tourism. My $1,500 gorilla trekking permit? It funds anti-poaching patrols and scholarships for guides' children. In Kigali, I wandered through markets run by women who survived the war, now crafting baskets that tell stories of resilience. And in the Gishwati forest, I planted a tree alongside rangers tracking chimpanzees. Rwanda doesn't let you just witness transformation. You become part of it. The Journey Within, a solo trek in Patagonia. I didn't plan to end up here, but somewhere between the glaciers and the guanacos, I realized regenerative travel isn't just about places. It's about people, including yourself. For 3 days, I trekked the W Circuit alone, staying at Eco Camp Patagonia, where dome tents run on wind power and dinners are served with stories of rewilding pumas. One evening, a gaucho named Javier shared his family's 100-year plan to restore overgrazed land. "The earth remembers," he said. "We just have to listen." The ripple effect. When I began this journey, I thought regeneration was about grand gestures. But it's the small choices. The reef-safe sunscreen, the homestay over a Hilton, the no to a plastic straw, that become waves. In every destination, I met people who'd turned pain into purpose. A Rwandan guide who lost his family, now protecting gorillas. A Scottish farmer undoing centuries of ecological harm. They didn't just give me a trip. They gave me a roadmap. And now, I'm giving it to you. Your journey starts with a single step. Explore my full guides, packing lists, and the exact eco-lodges I stayed in here. Visit trip.com. Together, let's travel like the future depends on it. Because it does.